What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I am convinced, more so than ever, that I've been right the whole time. People have been thinking that I was scheming on Arman Sarukian, saying that he was not on track to make weight, which is the reason that he pulled out of the Islam fight, as opposed to actually having an injury that would prevent him from fighting. Now listen, I'm not saying he wasn't nursing some sort of injury, some sort of back injury, but from what I understand, these guys are always experiencing some sort of injury, the type of rigorous training that they put their bodies through. There's always some sort of nagging injury, even if it's just something small, these guys are dealing with on a regular basis going into these fights. So I'm not saying he wasn't injured, but what I am saying is that the injury that he may have had was not a fight preventative injury. That's not why he pulled out of the fight. And I think, based on this video that I'm about to show you, now listen, does this prove it? Of course it doesn't. There is nothing that I can say or do that is going to prove it. Only Arman and Arman's team. It all makes sense now. Okay, first off, without stepping all over the video, this is a very reputable source, former and original referee John McCarthy, on his podcast discussing this supposed injury. So check this out.
You know, it's something I didn't bring up, but it was funny because as soon as I got the word that Arman was out, and I got it early from some people. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to give it.
Oh, come on, John. Spill the names.
No.
Just spew the names.
Just
throw them under. Let them lose their jobs. Let's
exactly.
go, John.
Thank you very much.
Come on, John.
But, you know, and I texted, you know, our news thing so you would see it and other people would see it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, I looked at it right away at the timing of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I'm right, but the timing of it tells me that someone was having a hard time making weight. And they knew that they weren't going to make weight. And instead of going and not making weight, I'm going to say, oh, I got this injury here, which maybe he's got a back injury, but he tried to put it off on that. And the only thing I'm going to say is, and the UFC is not stupid. You know, they're dealing with fighters all the time. And I looked at it and then I told that person that told me, I said, hey, I'm just telling you, I don't think he's got a back injury. I think that he wasn't going to make weight and he knew it. And if he's not going to make weight, he's not fighting for the title. And then he's not going to get a chance to come back and get that title shot. But if he was injured, maybe he will. I go, and Dana's not going to do that. Dana's going to know he's not stupid. And it was the first thing that crossed my mind when I heard it. I was like,
not at like 2 a.m. you get the call.
yeah.
Which means you were trying to get the weight down low enough to go to sleep and wake up in a feasible position to cut the weight in the morning.
And if you looked at him, I'm going to be honest, look, he looked fantastic.
Yeah.
He looked big though.
Yeah.
He did look big.
All right. Now, listen, guys, if you go back and listen to my previous videos, I have mentioned this multiple times, probably 3 to 4 times in my last couple of videos. I have mentioned, I think that he wasn't going to make weight, because listen, this is what people need to understand. It's one thing to not make weight or to not be on track to make weight for just a regular fight in the UFC. It's a way bigger deal when it's a title fight. Everybody remember what happened to Oliveira a couple of years back when he weighed in at 156 for his title fight? He fought that fight and lost his belt based on the fact that he didn't make the 155. You have to be directly on 155 or even lower to fight for a title or to get a title. Let me take that back. You can fight for the title, you can actually fight, but you can't get the belt and or maintain the belt without being at that 155, what they call championship weight. Okay? So if Arman Sarukian was hoping to get his weight to a certain level the night before weigh-ins, and then he woke up early that next morning to try to cut the rest of the weight, and they looked at where his weight was, and they just determined this is impossible. It's not going to happen, bro. There's no way you're getting down to 155 by whatever time the weigh-ins are, right? They would have had to start thinking about something at that point. All right. And I've said before, it looks way worse to have missed weight for a championship fight than it does to, oh, my back hurts, so I have to pull out. I don't have a choice but to pull out for an injury, right? Because an injury, that's something that's beyond your control, right? The weight is not beyond your control. And this will be the third time that I've used this scenario, but I'm going to say it once more. Let's say this Friday you have a meeting set with your boss at work because he's looking to promote someone. And you and a few other people are up for this possible promotion that's going to pay you more money. It's a good situation for you to be in. And then let's say Friday, you show up for work 45 minutes late. You're not going to do that. You know, you don't show up for work 45 minutes late on a day that you're supposed to talk to your boss about getting a promotion. You would be an idiot, right? He's going to be like, sorry, dude, I don't think you're the right guy for the job. Can't even get to work on time, right? That is what happened here. And hearing John McCarthy, knowing the sort of foundational reputation he has with the UFC, that is enough proof for me. I'm convinced. And also, too, I'd like to point to what Dana White said at the post-fight press conference. Okay? I don't think the UFC believes that he was pulling out due to a back injury. The timing, you're telling me 2-3 hours before he was supposed to weigh in? That's really a head scratcher, right? Because Arman Sarukian is absolutely the only number one contender right now. Okay? In the past, Islam has had several people close to fight day as contenders pull out, and then he's had to fight someone lower down. That's how he ended up fighting Dan Hooker. That's how he ended up fighting Bobby King Green. That's how he ended up fighting Renato Moicano, right? Somebody pulled out. So what I'm saying is this was really the first time in the reign of Islam Makhachev that he has had and was going to be up against a true number one contender. And of course, Dana, he doesn't know for sure. He doesn't have proof. So, his response was just, no, he's definitely going to have to work his way up. And he just left it at that. He's not going to sit there in front of the whole world and say, well, I don't think he was going to make weight is why. He's not going to do that, right? But why would he not be next? If it was truly an injury, something that was beyond his control, and you heard Dana say, we never want guys to fight injured. Okay. And if he was truly injured and that's not his fault, why is he not the next guy? He had to pull out due to something that was beyond his control. Why is he not the next guy? Why does he lose his place in line because of this? Daniel Cormier said that Arman should still be next. I heard Kamaru Usman talking about that Arman should still be next. Tons of other fight professionals and analysts are saying, why is Arman Sarukian losing his place? Why are we all of a sudden not talking about Arman Sarukian now? Right? I'm going to tell you why. Because Arman Sarukian was going to miss weight. That's why he pulled out of this fight. And he wasn't willing to chance and risk stepping on that scale, not making the championship weight. And then in front of the world, there goes his one chance to shine, one chance to fight for that title, and his only chance to fight for that title stripped away from him because he couldn't shed that last 1 or 2 pounds. He wasn't about to do that. And he felt like it would make him look bad in front of the UFC, and that maybe they wouldn't give him another title shot based on that. And he felt like it would make him look bad in front of the world. And he didn't want to walk through that door. I can't say that I blame him. I can't say that I wouldn't have made up I had an injury as well. And another thing, look at Arman Sarukian's words after this. This guy's not too bright. If I would have truly had to pull out due to injury, I would have absolutely, I don't care what Dana said, I would have absolutely at least thrown my name in the hat. Like, I'm the true number one contender. I hated to have to pull out. This is something that was beyond my control. I wanted to be able to give 100% to the UFC. I wanted to be able to give 100% to the fans. I wanted to give 100% for myself and my team. I wanted to give 100% to Islam. I wanted the whole world to see the best of me. That's why I pulled out, because of this injury, right? Anyone who was worth their salt, that's how they would have handled that. What did Arman Sarukian say as soon as a microphone got put in front of his mouth? Oh, yeah, well, I agree with Dana. I should have to fight my way back up. You know why he said that? Because he didn't want to push the issue. Because he's just glad that no one's accusing him of what actually happened. He's just glad that UFC is supposedly believing his bullshit. And I mean, they will. Nobody can prove it. We can't prove it. I can't prove it. John McCarthy can't prove it. Daniel Cormier can't prove it. Kamaru Usman can't prove it. Dana White can't prove it. Nobody can prove that it was a weight issue, right? But you heard John McCarthy said, these guys have been around fighters and been around fighters making weight and during a weight cut for years, 30 years plus. He's been doing this, right? He knows when a guy looks like whether he's going to be able to make 155 pounds or not. And he said when he looked at him, he thought to himself, this guy's jacked, and I thought it too. I mean, you just look at the water being held in his muscles. It's like, this dude's going to make 155? I don't know, man. But to me, hearing this, it validated what I've been saying. I've been singing this song in my videos for the last several days. And I even had one person hate on me. Do you even believe some of this garbage that you're spewing? I had one person say that to me. I was like, I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I don't really know for sure. None of us will ever know for sure. But yeah, I kind of do believe it, because none of this makes sense. Because if the UFC didn't believe that there was something fishy going on here, I feel like Arman would have gotten the next shot. Dana would not have said that. I also feel like Arman would have went to bat for himself on getting the next shot if this was truly an injury. But Arman, deep down, he knew that it was a screw up that he and his team could have potentially controlled. And I think he felt bad about that. So I think he's just willing to go back to the drawing board because he knew they screwed up. Right? So anyway, hey, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think he was on track to miss weight, or do you believe that he was actually pulling out due to injury? And it could have been a little bit of both. He could have had something going on with his back that's kind of been bothering him, but then the weight wasn't coming down like they expected. And then they're like, well, if we don't make the weight, we can't win the belt anyway. Then all of this is null and void. There's no point in any of this. So, and my back hurts a little bit. So, let's just call it, I've been saying it. But anyway, what do you guys think? You You think I'm totally reading into this? I mean, obviously this is a conspiracy. Obviously this is just a theory. None of us know, but my guess is as good as any. So, you know, I'd like to know what you guys think as well. But if you would, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the content if you would. That would be great. I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks so much for watching the Corey Austin MMA Theorem.